All right, speaking of sports, it's so confusing, the rules in baseball, from the high school level all the way up to the pros and everything in between. Wait till you hear my conversation with Jim Bettencourt and the app that he created to make the rules simple. Stay with us. This time around in Author's Corner, we're going to talk to somebody about a really cool app, and actually book, too, as well, about a subject that I have some experience in realizing how convoluted it all is with my sports background and covering the Rangers and the Yankees and College World Series and even some high school baseball. I had guys that worked for me in a huge sports department in Dallas, and there was always arguments over calls and interpretations of rules. Well, somebody who has cut through the clutter, that's what I would call him. He's the guy who cut through the clutter like I've never seen, is Jim Bettencourt, and he's got a book and an app, Baseball Rules in Black and White. Jim, thanks for hanging with us.
Oh, Kate, thank you very much for the opportunity. I appreciate it greatly.
So why did you decide to tackle this like nobody else ever has? You were umpiring, right?
Correct.
And you saw how convoluted it was, right?
Exactly. And basically, had been umpiring for about 17 years at that point, and I was watching the repetitiveness of each year when we'd be studying the rules. A room full of umpires basically ended up arguing about the interpretation of a ruling consistently. And it was at that point I also assessed my own rule knowledge, and I realized I didn't know a lot of the rules either. Lifetime of baseball and 17 years of umpiring, and there was when I'd open up the rule book and I'd get to batting out of order, I'd get to batter's interference, and on and on and on. And some of the language and the formatting in the rule book is so horrible, I would literally avoid looking at it and reading it and understanding it. And that's when I made the decision to go into those more difficult rules and type them out and explode the information and put it in a content that I was able to comprehend exactly what it was saying. And that's what it took in order for me to do that.
What is and this is a tough question, but what do you think is the most convoluted rule that you had to break down and simplify?
The one well, there's several, but one that pops out is the batting out of order rule. And it has the language and the way that it's defined, particularly in the OBR rule set, official baseball rules, they use language from the 1940s and 50s, Army lingo of Abel, Baker, and Charlie to talk about the players. And by the time they get done, you don't even know who Fred is. And it becomes horrible. So that's one that pops out. Another rules that are very difficult are the designated hitter pitcher rule, particularly now in high school. They just changed it this year where the pitcher can be both, the designated hitter and a pitcher in a lineup, a 9-man lineup. And then they also have that in college. And the college rule book, it goes overboard, and then it scatters the information. The high school rule book gives you just a little sample of the rule. So those are the ones that we have in our app, and we really defined them.
Yeah, so explain the app. How do you tackle the technology, figuring it out, making it accessible? And congratulations on that, because we live in an app world, and that's an easy way to get to the rules quickly, right?
Correct. The speed which this app operates is amazing. We've created and what we've done to even enhance the speed, we've created A to Z index. So when you want to find an appeal rule, it's an A, and so it's at the top of the list. Then we have batting out of order. We have balk. We have catch, designated hitter, and so on. Everything's listed in alphabetical order. So that creates a really easy way to quickly get to the rule you're looking for.
Yeah, and that's the idea, the need for speed. How many, you were telling me it's an incredible amount. How many downloads?
We're reaching 4,000 downloads, and we launched in February during the pandemic. So now baseball's rolling, and we're getting more upticks. We're on 6 continents, dozens of countries. Basically, we're the highest-rated app on the Internet, number 1 on Google and Apple, and it's free. That's the other cool thing about the app. The other thing, we cover 3 rule sets, Kate: NFHS, NCAA, and official baseball rules. And we've simplified the language so that you're not reading rulebook language. We've talked about the easy locate A to Z rule topics. And then we've also we filmed and created videos of the more complicated rulings. So not only do you get to see the simplified language, you get to watch video of actual umpires on the field with players and the infractions being played out.
Wow. So how great is that? Because that, I mean, a video tells everything when you go and look it up. How do I do this? How do I do whatever? And you've got it right there at the fingertips with the app. So you can go and look and you can see, well, wait, this is a clear violation. And you did that, right, to even simplify it more.
Correct. Because we've created an educational resource. This isn't a rule book. We have a educational resource that teaches you baseball rules. We didn't focus on every rule because we focused on the rules that happen, infractions that happen every day in baseball games. Nobody cares about the diameter of the baseball, but when there's an infield fly ruling going on, everybody wants to know what's going on.
Yeah, you know that this app has the potential to really ignite some good arguments, too, because if you've ever been in the stands at any level of baseball, when that happens, and that's a great example, people go nuts over that. And I think it'll help umpires and players and keep some people in check as well. What do you think?
Absolutely. It's just another resource. Umpires are always looking for information that will help them become better. And generally, we achieve that when everything goes wrong on the field. We learn more in those situations than when it's just a game where you walk on the field and you just have your A game out there and nothing happens. We don't learn anything. But in those situations, instant replay, umpires at the professional level, they'll go back in and they'll watch those plays that are screwed up. 3-foot running lane, infield fly, obstruction, and they'll review that, and they'll get more knowledge, and they'll get better at doing what they do because they're watching something that went wrong.
As somebody who's covered baseball, and I mentioned that at the beginning, and just like you in a different way, have that love for baseball, how awesome is it to come to this point in your life and this journey where you've pulled all this together? I mean, every day has to be exciting for you as you watch this all unfold, is it?
It truly is, and it's something that I haven't done alone. I have to give credit to my wife, Christelle. She's been there for me throughout this whole project, and Yeti app developers, and then the hundreds of knowledgeable umpires across the country and rule instructors who have been resources for me and for baseball rules in black and white. And it is something that it is just truly every day is a new awesome experience. And I get feedback from umpires across the country who I feel very humbled as they are so appreciative of what we've done.
Yeah, you're like the guru, Jim Bettencourt, the guru. Baseball rules in black and white. Key thing, so you pretty much spelled it out for us, simplifying it, the learning tool, all of that. If somebody's listening to us, they want to get the app, and you said it in the beginning, but it's really easy. What do they do? Okay.
Go to Google or Apple app stores and type in baseball rules in black and white. And because we are number 1, it pops right up. And it's free to download, or they can go to baseballrulesinblackandwhite.com. We have links right on the cover page, and then we have also great information. And one other thing I wanted to mention, we've been with the series of books that the app was content is designed from. We have been from the very beginning, 2017, receiving endorsements from all across the country, from the National High School Baseball Coaches Association, California Executive Instructional Chairman Bradley Hungerford's endorsed our book. Billy Hayes, 2-time College World Series umpire have endorsed our books and the apps. So this information is a great learning resource, and the conventional rule books aren't. They just contain all the rules, and they're scattered all over the place, and good luck, you get to find them. When you see and read the information in this app, it will accelerate a new umpire's learning curve by 5 years.
Ooh, 5 years. Okay, that's everybody needs to get this, especially anyone in the game. But what an interesting, brilliant tool it is. There's no question about it, and you really put the work into it. Jim Bettencourt, thanks so much.
Kate, thank you so much for the interview. I appreciate this fantastic opportunity.